forgiving those who used to be our friends. OT on Monday night, it's the worst. And live or artificial Christmas trees, UAN.
Welcome to the Hopefulist, a daily talk show hosted by veteran broadcaster Wendy McClure. Join Wendy each day as she shares her life lessons that transformed her from perpetual pessimist to the ultimate hopefulist. The perfect morning show to get you caught up on the day's top stories while sharing insights that will lead to positive transformation and bring out the hopefulist in you. For more inspiration, visit hopefulist.com. And now, here's your host and hopefulist, Wendy McClure.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Tuesday, December 10th, 2019, day 89 of Gotta Get on Ellen. So, I'm sure you can tell I stayed up a little later than usual last night. Yes, my voice not up to par. I admit it. I'm very tired. I was up until 11:45 watching the Eagles needing to go into overtime against the lowly Giants. They did win. I almost went to bed. The score was 17-10. Eagles go for a field goal in the fourth quarter. Miss. Miserable conditions, by the way. Pouring rain for almost the whole game. And by the end, it was just the worst. It was just so bad. Maybe that had something to do with the missed field goal. I don't know. That's when my house guest, Libby, said, that's it. I'm going to bed. I said, yeah, I'm going to bed too. And then I believe the Giants did a 3-and-out, and I could tell there was a little rally going on. So I stayed up. They scored a touchdown, tied up the game, went into overtime, won the toss, and went right down the field to score a touchdown. Now, had they been able to do that in quarters 1, 2, 3, or 4, we wouldn't have had to wait until overtime. But it is what it is. It was an ugly win. We're happy to have it. Sorry for my husband and all of my Giants loving friends who I spent some time with last night who like to kind of give me a hard time over it. That's fine. We had a discussion last night at my game night gathering about the Giants and how Eli was back and that he was going to beat us. And I told them that the Eagles almost always beat the Giants, even with Eli Manning. So I'm glad that I didn't have to eat my words. And I do want to just point out, I loved the fact, Eli always has that deer in headlights look. And then when the game ended in overtime, much better than the Patriots' Tom Brady, did not run off the field when he, like Brady did when they won the Super Bowl, or they lost the Super Bowl to the Eagles. You could tell that Eli was just wandering around that field looking for Carson Wentz. Just wanted to say something to Carson Wentz. He's like just walking around, looking. Some of the other players are coming up to him. I saw Doug Peterson said a couple of words to him. And he finally saw Carson Wentz. And the minute he saw Carson Wentz, talked to Carson Wentz, he headed in to the locker room. So kudos to you, Eli. You are a real class act. Speaking of Tom Brady and not a class act, did you hear the Patriots have been caught filming their opponents again? I don't know. Awful lot of accusations of cheating when it comes to the Patriots. I'm just saying. So I'm not going to get into the whole thing. You can look it up. It's big in the news right now. But yeah, they were caught cheating. They were caught filming their next opponent. And, they're saying it's some sort of project that, they were doing and they didn't know they were doing it and blah, blah, blah. And, okay, I know. 6 Super Bowl wins under Tom Brady. Whatevs. Just saying. There's an awful lot of speculation. There's an awful lot of what ifs. There's an awful lot of all kinds of mischiefness going on when it comes to the Patriots. I'm going to go right into my topic today because I've got a big blog post. So I wanted to hear from you about, your choice in Christmas trees. Do you prefer a live tree or an artificial? Now, we have had both. The live trees are a little bit, I'm going to change that, a lot more work. And I've mentioned before that I would like to get another live tree one of these years, and I thought maybe this was the year. But alas, my impatience always precludes that from happening because they don't sell trees 2 weeks before 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, and that's when I want to put my tree up, and that's when I typically put my tree up. And then it definitely would be dead before Christmas because I've bought trees before on Black Friday, and they're pretty much dead by the time Christmas rolls around. So we do the artificial tree, and we didn't go with the pre-lit this time because the top of the tree went out the one time, and then I was like, well, it's going to look kind of stupid to put other lights on it. It's just not going to match up. So we bought a tree. It's a gorgeous tree, I got to tell you. It was like a $200 tree. We got it at Target after Christmas, 70% off. I think we paid $40 for it. So like I said, it's not pre-lit. So Joe puts the lights on every year, and he's been getting a lot of compliments about the job he does with the lights. Everybody's like, is that a pre-lit tree? And we're like, no. And they're like, wow, how do you get the lights so good? Good job, babe. Getting lots of compliments on your light work. So we have an artificial tree. So what you guys say and prefer, someday I'm going to get a real tree again. Maybe just a little one just to put somewhere else in the house. Just got to find room for it. Jim says he has an artificial tree. He said, I've had a pre-lit tree for years and years, and I may be jinxing myself by saying this, but it's still working. Barb chimed in to that, saying the top lights went out on mine last year as I was putting it up. It has pearl and clear lights. The pearl ones went out. I've used this one for 9 years, so I guess it was time. Barbara says she goes with artificial. She's allergic to live. That is very sad. Martin says, I like both, but since I spent over $300 on an artificial tree a couple of years ago, I'm putting the fake one up. There you go. Denise says, live, live, live. I think she likes a live tree. Megan says, pre-lit artificial. It's just easy to put up early and keep it up longer, but I do miss the smell of a real tree. Yeah, we used to get a real wreath and put it like on the inside of the front door. That way we still got some of the smell. We haven't done that in a while. Last year we got this bucket there's this garden center in our town called Reynolds, and I had a gathering last night, and people were talking about how beautiful this place is, and it is. And I can't even go because I spend money every single time I go. Even if I just want to go look, I'm like, no, I'm going to have to buy that. I have to buy that. And so we had some real greens that we had purchased from Reynolds last year. They weren't that scenty. They weren't that aromatic, but they sure were beautiful. But I reused the can for this year, and it's pretty cute. It's got Santa on it, and it's like a little milk can, those old-timey milk cans, and it's decorated, obviously, for Christmas. It's got Santa on it, and it says Believe. So I purchased some fake greens and some pretty Christmassy type bows and stuff to decorate it with this year. So Sandra says, I go back and forth. This year it is artificial. Wilbur says, with the price of real trees, I have to go with the artificial. Eleanor says, I always had live, but getting too old to handle the hassle. No one visits, so now I just put up the artificial. Now Jennifer says, real, 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 real. People really love their real trees. Adele says, I always had a real tree as one of my 4 trees each year until I upgraded to a 2-beagle household. Now I just put up one artificial tree. Carol says artificial. Linda says it's artificial due to allergies. She posted a picture. Her tree is gorgeous. If you haven't checked it out, check out the topic on the Hopefulist page. Linda had put up a picture. Very adorable. I love it. Veronica says both. Dawn says, I want artificial. My family wants real. Guess who ends up watering it and vacuuming pine needles? Yeah, me. Marcy says, I do a live tree and always get one, but over the past few years, the prices have gone up so much, $40 or $50 for just a small one. So I'm actually and sadly contemplating getting an artificial one. Libby says we have a pre-lit artificial tree. They do look nice, but I love the real tree, but not the mess. Kathy says we used to always get a real tree that was rooted and bald at the bottom so we could plant it in our 2-acre backyard up north. But the older we get, the more we do not want to drag a live tree up flights of stairs, so we do artificial now. Michelle says we've had an artificial tree for years, but decided to go with live this year. There you go. And Raquel posted a picture of her tree. She says, I like artificial. And again, completely gorgeous tree. I love when you guys post pictures of your stuff on the page. So thank you for doing that. I don't think I did an actual consensus. Let's see if I can do it real quick because I'm not prepared because I was up late. Okay, artificial, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it's artificial by a landslide. I'm not gonna put both. So most people are going with artificial at this time. That can change any moment, I'm sure. So I think the artificials, they look fine. They look beautiful. They don't have the smell, but not all Christmas trees have that smell. You have to get a particular type of tree to make sure it's nice and stinky, nice and smelly. Now, my friend Libby had brought a room deodorizer, a room scent spray that is evergreen. And I did spray it on the tree. She told me to use it sparingly, and I put 2 sprays on the tree, and it was so overwhelming I had to open up the door a little bit to let it air out. So I'm going to give that another go with maybe just a half a spritz, but that's nice too. But, I always have my little candle warmer that I got for Christmas. I think I just got it last year, and I use that bad boy all the time. I love it. So right now I'm using my scent warmer for one of the wonderful Yankee Candle Christmas scents. I think it's like Christmas wreath or something like that. It's that cinnamony type. It's just so good. I can't even describe it. It's just really good. So on to today's blog post. We are continuing with our theme this week of forgiveness. So today I wanted to talk about forgiving former friends, and I put up a cute little picture, and it says, always forgive your enemies. Nothing annoys them so much. That is a quote from Oscar Wilde. I love that one. So I always say I was so not prepared for how many friends I would lose in life, and it continues to happen, which makes me very sad. I always try to reach out and rectify situations. If someone seems distant, I'll ask why. If my relationship just doesn't seem the same as it used to be, I will reach out and ask if there's a problem. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes it comes back to bite me in the butt. Maybe it's me. I don't know. Maybe I am a bad friend and I just don't realize it yet. But I'm pretty introspective. I always try to figure out what I've done to contribute to a situation. Sometimes I've done something awful and deserve to lose a friend. I've done some terrible things. But I don't always come up with an answer. I'm not sure if those times I am in denial about something or if there was just truly nothing I did to cause the end of a friendship. But regardless of what I come up with, it truly breaks my heart every time I lose someone close to me. Now, I've had situations when people that I spend most of my time with for years on end have just dwindled away. I've had people who, treat me unfairly, that cut me out of their life for reasons still unknown to me. I've had people put distance between us very suddenly, and then when asked if there's a problem, I get answers such as, I've just been busy, but I see you on Facebook not being too busy with our mutual friends. Just saying. I've even been attacked for well-meaning inquiries as to whether there's a problem. This is going to be the one I focus on for today and why it's so tough for me to move past it. So I had a friend close to where I live here that I spent a lot of time with, one-on-one as well as in a group. She is the one who had a big hand in getting me into this particular group, and I loved spending time with all of them. Suddenly, it seemed like this woman was putting a lot of distance between us. I didn't hear from her at all. She went from liking just about every post I put on Facebook to never liking a single post. I sensed there was a problem. I reached out. My inquiry via message was ignored. I figured since my